Mole, I think, will probably play out on the left. Some defending to be done first, though. Corner comes in, headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box by Chukwu. Floated into the back post. The keeper doesn't get to it, and there's the opener. Jacob, the substitute keeper, came for the ball, didn't get there. And it's Tylon Smith, the centre-back. Steered his header goalwards, the keeper nowhere to be seen. That goes down as a goalkeeping error, I'm afraid, and against the run of play throughout the match. Somehow, South Africa take the lead. See how much it means for Tylon Smith. His first goal of the competition. Well. Now the ball goes long again, but it's too late. And South Africa, remarkably, have won the first of the semi-finals of this year's Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. They're back in the final after a gap of 28 years. The goal scorer in your camera there, Tylon Smith. Substitute keeper Jacob for Nigeria, caught in no man's land as the ball was lofted into the area. Smith nodding the ball into the empty net. And that the difference between the two sides. Nigeria very much on top for the majority of that game.
Thank God it's Friday, and it is the Friday edition of Kickoff Sports Show, live on Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is Oladakwa Okunubi. Well, I don't want to start with Barcelona, but for those watching this morning, live on Facebook and YouTube, you can see that I love celebrating and I love dragging. But this morning, let us brag. But let us start with Nigeria's Flying Eagles. They could not fly against AJISOPE of South Africa at the AFCON Under-20 semi-final stage right there in Egypt. So the final is going to be between Morocco and South Africa. Well, Gansi looks like a South African. It looks like Mokoena. Okay, not by your hair, Sha.
Well, good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to our listener out there. It feels good to be back behind the MIC this beautiful Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes,
sir.
We're
set again to preach the Friday sermon to you according to the world of sport.
Okay.
Well, like you said, the Flying Eagles were unable to fly yesterday against South Africa. But like I do say, CAF, FIFA did not establish these competitions for trophy-winning purposes.
Excuses don't start.
No, it's even if Nigeria had won it, honestly. And the funny thing is, there is no rival. Nigeria has won this competition 7 times. They were going to win it for the 8th time. So for me, I think they have the pedigree, they have the good antecedent, to back all of these things. But not winning it this time does not mean we should castigate the boys. What I said earlier today was that the NFF, the coach, should make sure that these players are retained. They should monitor their progress because it's a culture, it's a trend in Nigerian football. You get to see this set of players in the AFCON, and when the Under-20 World Cup starts, you don't get to see them.
And what the coach is saying here is just to go against what you said. The coach is saying that he will have to I think there's a word he used in his post-match, saying that he's going to overhaul the squad. Maybe he does not understand the word. Maybe you should explain better to him. Because if you're saying you want to overhaul, that means you want to do a total change of a team that got to the semi-final.
Come on, you have to begin the whole process once again. For me, I think maybe he does not understand the full meaning of what overhauling means. Because how can you say you want to overhaul a whole team going into a major competition this same year? You're not playing the competition next year, you're playing later this year. So why are you overhauling the team? You want to begin the whole process of getting players once again. So I don't think that is the right statement from him. But like I said, these players' progress should be monitored, their development should be monitored, and let's see how they can transition into the Super Eagles team.
Let us see how they can transition into the Super Eagles team, and let us also hope that Eric Shaw will not be eyeing players abroad. These are players that we've seen that can play on the continent.
Right.
And remember, we have the AFCON coming very soon.
Yeah,
we should be able to see players who can play under the sun, not just under the snow.
Right.
I'm not trying to bring NYSC.
I understand.
All right, guys, let's go straight and talk NBA before we talk full football this morning. Well, remember, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, Solutions 93.9 FM. Jump on these platforms and let us have your take. Remember, Manchester United is playing tonight at Tottenham in the English Premier League, preparing for the Europa League final. But first, let's go straight and talk NBA, where Denver Nuggets, OKC Thunders played out, and it ended. The game is now going into Game 7 from Game 6. Remember, you said something. Yes, I had to give you your thumbs up. I gave you your flowers yesterday while you were not on the show. I don't know if you monitored. That you were talking about Boston Celtics, that they could come back. That's why not having Jason Tatum. And guess what? No Tatum. They won their game, so they are moving into. But guys, let's go. Let's quickly take it back to what happened in the wee hours of today, and we talk more NBA stories. Do not go anywhere.
Hartenstein with the floater. Ball screen. He had an opportunity to get into his pull-up. He didn't. Led to a turnover on that possession.
Murray for three. Got it and a foul. Chance at a 4-point play for Jamal Murray. And a lot of those misses, as you said, legs in the fourth.
And here comes the 1-3-1 zone that Denver has employed.
Nice pass. Gilgeous-Alexander to Dort, the high flyer. Murray, nice move off the bounce. And Jamal Murray, 6 points already.
Set that back screen to get the switch and was able to operate in his sweet zone with the pull-up. But Lou Dort is like a track team when they get that ball off the glass or off of a turnover. Jalen Williams saw that and took it all the way.
Jokic with the spin and the basket. Shot clock down to 7. Jokic, what a pass to Brown, and great recovery. Holmgren with Gilgeous-Alexander gets the layup, but they can't keep trading twos with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the front runner. Jalen Williams in the corner. Skip to Caruso. Caruso for three. It's good. The second-year pro out of Gonzaga, who played sparingly during the regular season, also dealt with some injuries, but was a star here tonight. We've got a Game 7 in the West.
Okay, well, OKC Thunders, a team that maybe we can we say this? I'm not sure. Don't let us start behind any team until when we go to the NBA full final. So it's not about the conference finals right now. But now let's talk about what happened in the wee hours of today. I mean, you can see 3-3. So if you're going to put your money on any team between OKC Thunders and Denver Nuggets in a Game 7, what team would that be?
Well, I feel like it's going to be dicey to predict at this point. For OKC Thunder, remember, they went on the road, and Game 7 would be on their home turf in Oklahoma. So that could give them the motivation they need going into that final game. And do not forget, Denver Nuggets are also a powerhouse in NBA this season, despite the fact that they missed a couple of their starts. They still got that victory in the wee hours of today. So I don't know. It's a difficult call, but I'm going to stick my neck out for a team. I think the Denver Nuggets.
Let me check your neck again.
I'm not. Now you get
Okay, now for Steph Curry, this is a man who went injured after Game 1, and that also had ripple effect. Remember, I told you, and that was the only argument I would say I won on Tuesday. You were saying that not Curry, they can still perform. Get the victory, see how they can, move into either Game 6. But unfortunately, they lost out. Look at the score line against Minnesota Timberwolves.
121 to 110 points. Not so good for the Golden State Warriors, even though I was not very sure they were going to, get this over the line because their three-point expert, that Steph Curry got injured. But I was still giving them a chance. Maybe the other guys will step up. At the end of the day, that did not happen. And for Minnesota Timberwolves, it's going to be back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals for them. Last season, they were also at this stage of the competition. So let's see how far they would go for Minnesota Timberwolves. For the Golden State Warriors, they have to go back to the drawing board, re-strategize, and see what would happen next season.
Now, talking about next season, well, for Steph Curry has been saying that he's eyeing a stronger season come next year with Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. We remember Butler had to come in, and he was able to show just like what Doncic showed with LA Lakers, when he moved into the team. Let's listen to Steph Curry this morning, and from there, we'll take one or two stories and move to tennis.
Yes, but also I'm just looking forward to next year. Like, this league reminds you, you see teams that are still alive, you see the injuries that have happened, unfortunately, and nothing is, guaranteed in terms of you being competitive or being a contender. So, yeah, our contracts are all me, Draymond, Steve, Jimmy, all 2 years, and we want this ride to last as long as possible. But it's just about like, what does this team need for next year? Answering those questions over the summer, everybody preparing themselves individually to get through, another 82-game season, hopefully with a little bit more of a little comfort room down the stretch where we don't have to have a 2-month gauntlet just to make the playoffs. So that's all we're really focused on right now. And I'm excited about it because there's clarity, although there are a lot of, decisions that need to be made over the summer.
Well, Steph Curry of Golden State Warriors speaking there. Well, the season is over, but let's just see how he can also recover. Remember, he got injured.
Hamstring injury.
Yes, and remember, I keep saying this, when you depend on the player in a team, it will surely backfire.
Right. I mean, it's high time all of these teams, started focusing on multiple players. You don't just, put all your eggs in one basket. If that player gets injured, look at LeBron James at some point. Whenever he gets injured for the Lakers, it's always a problem. So they had to make that trade, get a new player. And so far this season, they did well, but they could not pass, the first round of the playoffs. So let's wait and see what the NBA would look like starting from next season. All
right, now talking about the Italian Open, talking tennis this morning. Carlo Alcaraz will be in action today against Lorenzo Musetti by 2:30, and Yannick Sinner will take on Tommy Paul by 7:30 in the semi-final of the ATP. I want to see
Sinner Alcaraz.
I'm telling you, actually, Yannick Sinner saw the new Pope. In Italy,
he don't go 45 himself.
So yes, maybe he has been forgiven and cleansed.
They play.
So, but I just feel like it's going to be an interesting one, seeing Carlo Alcaraz against Yannick Sinner in the final.
I mean, it's something we all want to see because they are building up to the French Open, which will begin very, very soon. And for Alcaraz, one of the young stars in the world of tennis, Yannick Sinner, world number one, I think he has dropped though because of the ban he had. But we all know what he's capable of doing. But remember, they've still got hurdles in front of them. Carlos Alcaraz will be in action against Lorenzo Musetti, so he needs to navigate that hurdle first before he can dream of playing at the final. Same as Yannick Sinner, also facing Tommy Paul today. So, first hurdle, navigate past your opponent today, and let's see what the final pairing would be.
Okay, well, remember, Coco Gauff will be playing in the final of the WTA category tomorrow against Jasmine Paolini. Coco Gauff has been fantastic so far. And for those who are overhyping Emma Raducanu, I think they should just stop for now till the end of the year.
Coco Gauff,
you know the song coming into my head. Lower. All right, now moving away from tennis this morning, let us talk Formula One. So I don't know. There's sometimes that you make statements and you drop the mic.
Right.
That was what happened to Lewis Hamilton yesterday while granting his interview, saying that, hey guys, do not just talk about what is happening right now about me. Wait till after few years with Ferrari.
I mean, I've also been saying that on the show. I mean, you don't judge Lewis Hamilton based on the first few races of the season. Let's wait and see what he can do in the next couple of races. But of course, because of the good pedigree he has, because of what he has been able to do in the past with Mercedes, people would always judge you. If you cannot live up to that expectation, if you cannot level that kind of expectation, people would keep judging you, and that is what Lewis Hamilton is suffering at Ferrari. He just joined them for crying out loud. He needs time to adapt to his new car, to his new constructor, and he needs time to even adjust to a whole new constructor. So don't let us judge him yet. Let's give him a few more races this season. But people they are talking about now, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, these guys will not wait for you. You have to hit the ground running, and if you fail to do that, these guys are already raking in the points, already winning races, and at the end of the day, you may not be able to catch up. So for Lewis Hamilton, he needs to speak to himself, get your self back, get your mojo back, hit the ground running, and let's see how far you can go with Ferrari this season.
Okay, so we'll go on a break this time, and when we come back, we talk football on the show. Shout out to Adeboja Yusuf, Arani, Yaya, Dioshu, Olaleko, Oluwatimileng watching live on Facebook. When we come back, we'll read your messages and talk more football stories.
Abeg, why all this commotion for Mommy Dolapo's shop?
It's Rocky by Chin Chin, no. Everybody's saying a better snack all day long.
Now, wow.
This Rocky by Chin Chin, they're good for money snack.
What are you eating that got you so excited like this?
Mr. Tunde, na Rocky by Chin Chin, no.
Rocky by Chin Chin?
Yes, Oga. It's very delicious and nourishing.
Are you serious?
You don't believe me? Go ahead, have a taste.
Wow, no wonder everyone is crazy about it. Mary, help me and go get some Rocky Bite Chin Chin so I can use it for breakfast.
Okay, sir. Rocky Bite Chin Chin. Very delicious. Yummy. Rocky.
Rocky Bite Chin Chin. Unleash the unstoppable snack adventure. Produced by Sumal Foods.
Your comfort is important. If you're looking for quality, classy, comfortable, and imported furniture, Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise is a place for you. At Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise, we've got a wide range of top-notch imported furniture for you at affordable prices. Name it: sofas, royal marble dining set, executive furnitures of all kinds, banquet furniture, bed and dressing mirror, kitchen cabinet, and lots more. Our intention is to make you feel comfortable always by providing quality furniture, whether at home, office, hotel, lounge and bar, and so on. Hurry now. Contact us today at Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise, shop number AA 80-20, Railway Shopping Complex, Aleshiloye Market, and shop 8A-11, Railway Shopping Line, by Alalubosa Junction, Iyaganku Railway Crossing, Ibadan. Call 0802-303-0550 or 0706-225-2649. Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise, home of quality furniture made for you.
Law and order are essential goals of good governance in a civilized society. It is illegal and immoral to take the law into our own hands. Why take a life we cannot create? Violence, jungle justice, and mob actions are not solutions. We must stop now. Nothing justifies taking the law into our own hands. We must follow due process, report, hand over suspects to law enforcement agencies. They are established to enforce the law and ensure offenders are held accountable. Our justice system is active and working. The government remains committed in tracking down offenders and ensuring justice is served. Mob violence is never the solution. Stay alert, speak up, uphold the law. We are civilized people in Nigeria. Together, let's stand for peace, for the law and order, and for justice. Say no to mob action and jungle justice.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
You fit fly.
Báòkú ẹ̀kọ́ òpin rírí ìrìn àjò ń bẹ lára ẹ̀kọ́. Ẹ wá gbọ́ o, láti rìnrìn àjò lọ oríṣiríṣi orílẹ̀-èdè káàkiri àgbáyé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn àti ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀. Ẹni mọ̀nà là á tẹ̀lé. You Fit Fly ló kájú ẹ̀. Remove the limitations on your dream of traveling the world and get premium and affordable services such as flight and hotel reservations, ticketing, visa processing, travel insurance, holy pilgrimage, e-visa processing for countries like Dubai, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Egypt. Also, airport transfer, special vacation, tour packages, IELTS, and many more travel services. You Fit Fly ti ní ìrírí ọdúnmọ́dún pẹ̀lú ẹ̀rí máa jẹ́ mi nìṣó. We've secured partnerships and valuable relationships across the globe to make your traveling experience truly remarkable. For more inquiries, visit us at Success House, 7 Up Road, Oluyole Main Estate, Ring Road, Ibadan. Call 0901-111-1190. Visit www.youfitfly.com. You Fit Fly without limitations.
Welcome back. 9:19 is the time. Young Striker 9 here, and we have the sports wizard Ganze in the building. All right, now let's talk football here, and we look at Rivers United technical advisor Finidi George, who's optimistic that his side will secure a place in the CAF Champions League. Remember, Abia Warriors is behind Rivers United.
All right.
And the way Imama Mapakabo, I mean, the way he's talking right now is Imama is saying that they need to start planning for CAF games. Not just looking at the local teams now. However, for Finidi George is sounding optimistic that his team will finish second. But now look at the points between the two teams. One, then look at the managers. I think we should give thumbs up to Abia Warriors, Rivers United, Remo Stars. Look at the caliber of coaches they have. I think caliber of coaches also determine how far a team can go.
Yeah, for Finidi George, he's been in this situation before, even a better position when he was in charge of Enyimba International. Remember, he won the title with them at that point, qualified them for the CAF Champions League as well. And I remember there was a statement made by one Shooting Stars fan when Rivers United came to Ibadan, and they, I think they got a draw at that point. The person said, now that Rivers United have leapfrogged Shooting Stars, they are not leaving that second position. And it's looking like that statement will come to pass, because ever since they became the second best team in the NPFL, they've retained that spot. And now Abia Warriors are chasing them, even though both teams are assured of continental tickets already.
Just 1 point difference.
We don't know if it's going to be the Champions League or the Confederations Cup. But for Rivers United, I feel like they are more poised, getting that. They've got a game, to play. That will be on the 25th of December. That's when the last round of matches will be. And they'll be at home against Nasarawa United. For Abia Warriors, they are going to go away to Ikorodu City. And once they buy Ikorodu City, Abia Warriors is that Ikorodu City are going to corner Abia Warriors because Abia Warriors stopped them from getting that continental ticket. Yes.
It wasn't Abia Warriors. It was Remo Stars because they lost.
I mean, Abia Warriors took that spot away from. Not like they stopped them directly. They took that spot away from them.
Wait, where's the Kosagbero with overload? You failed to, win your game against Remo Stars or even pick points against Remo Stars. Right. If you had drawn against Remo Stars, I think things would have been different here.
Right.
You understand? Right. So this will be 60 points. And looking at goals scored by Ikorodu City. So if they you understand, if they had the points, that would have been 57 points for Ikorodu City. And then say you play against Abia Warriors, get your 3 points.
I get. Well, it is what it is. But for Rivers United, I feel like they are more poised to get in that CAF Champions League tickets because they are playing at home against Nasarawa United compared to Abia Warriors who are going on the road against Ikorodu City.
All right, well, Lagos is sweet. It go do Maoli. All right, now let's talk about La Liga this morning. It was a fantastic night. I saw the first half of the game before leaving the office yesterday, so I was monitoring, the game online and looking at how Barcelona play their game. Shout out to Yami Lamar. I mean, I listened to the show to you guys this morning with Longman. Shout out to Longman. They decided to go bring all these kids, all the sound. Maybe the reason I'm putting on Barcelona jersey this morning. But shout out to all Barcelona fans that are listening to the show this morning, watching the show live on Facebook, YouTube.
Barcelona.
Shout out to Onyikosola Okunobi as well.
He's a Barca fan.
Well,
goes through, has improved hugely over the months that he's been Barcelona's number one.
Here is Lamine Yamal. Goes inside again, he'll finally be able to get a curling shot off and score for Barca. The big man for the big occasion, Lamine Yamal, scores once again.
Wow.
Cutting inside, it's the first time he's been allowed to get inside. Here is Fermin, sells the dummy on 3 occasions. Couldn't quite get the pass to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal's got it though, and it's come to Fermin, the finishing touch on the La Liga title for Football Club Barcelona late in the derby. Fermin Lopez puts the ball into the net to double the lead. Not just the derby, but also the title here at the RCDE Stadium with a 2-0 victory over Espanyol.
For culés out there, for Barca fans.
Not the end. We have 2 matches more, and we want to finish like a champion. So on Sunday against Villarreal and also in Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, of course, this was very important that everyone also was included in the defense, and a clean sheet is good also here because they defend really good. They make it, Espanyol make it really good, and when they get the ball, the transition, how they played was fantastic from their side. But we defend well.
All right, well, Hansi Flick speaking after the victory of Barcelona yesterday. 2-0 it was against Espanyol. And let's give it to Barcelona. Let's give it to Deco.
Right.
A man who scouts around for Barcelona.
Yeah, and I think we should give it to their coach, Hansi Flick. He also did well, not forgetting the man who made people know Lamine Yamal, that's Xavi Hernandez. Yeah, people thought Yamal became where he is under Hansi Flick, but Yamal has been playing for Barca right from Xavi Hernandez days in that club. So I think we should give it to all of those people.
Yeah.
They did well. And when Hansi Flick was asked, what was your best moment this season? He did this. 4. When they beat Real Madrid 4 times this season. Yes, every time they faced Madrid this season, they won all those games convincingly.
And they conceded. I mean, if you're going to advise Hansi Flick, because a lot, yes, you can talk about victories, wins, goals scored, but let's also look at goals conceded.
Well, I think what people are not focusing on is that was the style of play, style of football Hansi Flick wanted to use, the offside trap. And when you play offside trap, you should be ready to concede a number of goals. I remember when Antonio Conte came to England with Chelsea, when he used the 3-4-3 formation, people could not get an antidote to that poison, that formation at that point in time. But And in the second season, he could not defend that title. Same thing for Asif Leach. He came in with the offside trap, system of play, and he would concede a number of goals. The only thing the Barca has more than other teams is that they will outscore you. They don't say you don't score them, score 3 goals. They will make sure they outscore you. A game against Madrid scored 2 goals first. They outscored them. Against Inter Milan, 2 goals first. Barca, still outscored them. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what that style of football will look like next season. If other teams in the La Liga would get an antidote to that poison, we don't know, but let's wait and see what happens.
Because the likes of you need to go and study the defense style of Atletico Madrid and Atletico Bilbao, because they've conceded lesser this season, 29 and 26 goals.
But see the number of goals they've scored, 97.
Okay.
Bro, come on. And they've still got 2 more matches to go this season.
Yeah. All right,
now
score
100 goals.
Well, maybe they can get there, but let's go straight to England and wrap up the show. 2 matches are going down tonight. We have Aston Villa playing in the English Premier League against Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea against Manchester United. People are not really talking about that tough one, but Bruno Fernandes has been talking, saying that his dream is to win the Europa League.
What I hope and I want to happen is that at the end of that game, our team could be the one lifting the trophy. Obviously, we know we're playing Tottenham, both teams not having a great season, but final is a final, is a game where a chance to get the silverware is there, 1 game away, so both teams will be very eager to get that, but we just have to find a way.
So Bruno Fernandes speaking, he was talking to Owen Hargreaves in that interview, but just a pattern shot in 30 seconds. What do you expect tonight?
Well, for Chelsea, they need the game more than Manchester United, so I believe Chelsea have got about 60% chance of winning. Same for Aston Villa, they are also going for the Champions League spot. So Tottenham United would focus more on the Europa League final next week. Okay,
well, remember, let's quickly make shout out to Ajobo Yusuf is saying, good morning, sir. Arani Yaya is saying, up Chelsea. Up Chelsea, up Chelsea. Let's see if your Chelsea can beat Manchester United tonight. Adioshun Timile is a Manchester United fan and saying, congratulations to Barcelona team. Okay, let's move on. Okay.
I mean, Yoruba will say Ebony Rayo, Kiretino lady.
Yeah.
He's a Man United fan, so he celebrate Barca so that his team can also win.
Okay, well, now let's talk about headlines this morning coming from the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Comrade Adedama LAFENWA and Comrade Ayodeji Ajisope this morning. Good morning to you. Guys, you saw what has been happening, because, yes, we know that Arsenal cannot talk about the title. But let's talk about Tinubu going to Italy. Do you think Tinubu should go to Italy because of Pope? What's the correlation between Nigeria and the
the
Vatican?
According to what I read, he's going there on invitation. According to what I heard, I read that the Pope purposely has particularly invited the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is in person of Tinubu. So honoring such invitation is, I don't think there's any harm in that.
Okay, no harm in that. Okay.
But one thing I would like to ask you, I would like to ask you and Gatsby, I hope you have your voters registered.
Yes, I have.
Voter
card, yeah. I have mine, but I've never voted.
You've never
because
voted?
I've always been on assignment, on coverage.
Let me now inform you, maybe I should be the one to break the news to you. You might go to jail if you fail to vote, because there is a bill already on the floor of the House of Reps now, saying that it is a crime for any Nigerian of eligible, voting age, not to exercise his or her
civic responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, let us. Okay.
So I can see Gansy is already jittery.
Gansy, go ahead.
People who work as ad hoc staff for INEC, are they also allowed to vote?
You say what?
People who work as ad hoc staff for INEC during elections.
Oh, maybe you might be excluded if you are. Will you be working as an ad hoc staff?
He has once worked as an ad hoc staff.
But I just broke the news actually.
But now, that is coming from the National Assembly, right?
And the House of
They
Reps.
are still pushing.
It was debated yesterday.
It's a debate.
Vote or go to jail.
Vote or go to jail.
That's the bill.
Do you force people to go and vote? That is one. Even the people you voted for, are they doing what you expect them to do?
Are you motivating them to vote?
3, for those of us who are working to feed ourselves, and because we call us
essential
workers.
Essential workers.
I think what they should have put forward is how essential workers will cast their vote. You understand?
Exactly.
Before saying that if you don't vote during election period, you may go to jail.
Yeah.
What of those in the hospital? What of security officials?
Well, it was a divided session yesterday, because some were for it, some were obviously against it.
There's a big fire.
I think they should talk more about the voting system itself.
And they had the reason for
polling
doing that.
before
They said
we
that
vote.
over the years they've recorded voter apathy.
Yeah.
People
Number of
refuse
people
to go out to vote.
But do you know what? I think Senator Sharafa, Senator Sharafa Adin Ali will have to come to the station to explain more because he's part of the committee, of voting. I think he's
INEC,
and he was also in Ghana. He also oversaw how election went.
in Ghana,
First is, how did the election work better in Ghana? How is the election working better in the US? You understand? Why do you think people are encouraged to go out to vote? Are you going to say, okay, on this particular day, essential workers will go and vote, come back, then other Nigerians will now go and vote? Are we doing e-voting? Because e-voting was put some years ago, and that e-voting failed on that same floor. So that should be looked into. Okay, I think I'm sounding like Comrade Ayode.
Maybe you should join Comrade Ayode.
You're beginning to sound like Comrade Ayode.
Comrade this morning. All right, guys, do not go anywhere. I did LAFENWA Comrade Ayode coming up. We're from the dailies. Well, fire on the multi by Asha. My name is Radako Okunubi.
And my name is Omoni Alade. We see you tomorrow by 1 p.m.
Yep.
To make you so blind to your conscience and